Hello indie game fans, here are the updates and releases I missed in May, with a notable number of games releasing out of early access. But first, let's begin with RUNGORE, a roguelite deck builder title, but with the twist being that it's in real time, so you are frantically assessing the battlefield and throwing cards out there as quickly as you can, having a cool look and interesting mechanics, and is a hidden gem. Just a quick one here in Metal Dog's Labrador Retriever, a new playable character for this twin-stick shooter action game that is worth a play. This video is brought to you by Blockbuster Inc, a tycoon game in which you are put in charge of a movie production studio, having to make masterpieces and win awards as you make your way into the Cinematic Hall of Fame. This is a management sim on multiple levels, such as having to build out your premises, including buildings and sets, deciding on things like working hours, taking loans from banks to fund your movies, planning out the marketing campaign, and so on. Then there's designing your movies, scouting and choosing talent, managing camera angles, and even has post-production elements like sound design. You can also play the game through the history of cinematography, through the different time periods, and most impressively, it's a game that is made by only 3 friends from Greece, with the game releasing on June 6th, so buy it on Steam. There have been a whole bunch of Touhou games, and unsurprisingly have had more than a few Touhou dungeon crawler RPGs as well, with Touhou Genso Wanderer FORESIGHT being a mystery dungeon-like roguelike RPG, but longtime fans of the series are disappointed in this entry with complaints of excessive grinding and lack of features.
Boom! This was supposed to be a typical launch trailer. Spectacular horse shit! So, as we run out of budget anyway, we can show you our game itself.
I'm not sure what happened to Envoy, a CRPG out of a Polish developer which had a decent amount of hype, but about 9 months after release, they have just put out the Director's Cut update with this fourth wall breaking trailer, and seems like it might have been the result of someone winning an internal argument in releasing their vision or the Director's Cut version as compared to the earlier release. So it feels kind of weird, but appears to be a solid title with an interesting guns and sorcery world.
Currently on the planet Jan. Some using wild tech, some using truly crazy mana powers. Explosions, flamethrower cuties, and lots of creepy enemies to dominate in a perfectly set up combat. A true real-time slow-mo hard classic. It's a decently sized RPG with meaningful choices, different classes, skills, spells, great battles, bosses, enchantable craftable weapons, and all the usual stuff. But better. Like, you need 2 weeks, not a year to play our game. Yeah, I play Dark Envoy a lot because it is fun. My gal says addictive, but I'm sure she's overreacting. Like, trust me, I'm the video game developer. There's 13 of us here in the dungeon. Everybody agrees it is safe. No worries. Help us spread the news.
Another 1.0 release of interest is Chrono Ark, a roguelite deck builder RPG that doesn't have all that much gameplay in this 1.0 trailer, but in-game, it looks like how you would expect a Japanese-style dungeon crawling RPG to look like, and has interesting systems and is fairly popular, so give it a shot if you were sleeping on this one. It is not often that you see survival games like Survival Fountain of Youth, since they are either terrible and get 0 reviews, or blow up and become massive hits like Rust, with this sitting somewhere in the middle at a respectable 2,000 Steam reviews, being another tropical island primitive survival game, but is one that is well made enough to be of interest. A fun little isometric survival crafting game is I Am Future, which is currently in early access, just releasing the solar energy update with, of course, new solar powered equipment, but also a new rooftop and story, making this even better.
And sports. In this update, you will explore a new rooftop area themed around all things sporty. Enjoy the tennis court, a free weight training area, and more to get virtually fit by the summer season. Of course, we have added outfits too. We have also introduced the weather system that affects various mechanics such as farming and solar energy generation. Now, your plants will be automatically watered when it rains. Plus, we've added new crops. Yes, cheese does grow on trees, which means you'll have even more delicious meals to cook. Pumps can now be upgraded to automatically collect and desalinate salt water. And automatic sprinklers have been improved. Your solar panels will provide you with energy during clear weather that you can then store with the new structure, the battery. We've also introduced the Days of the Week feature. All the different stores now work on schedule because even in a flooded, post-apocalyptic city, they need days off too. Check the calendar for their opening times. Minions are getting smarter with the pathfinding algorithm being entirely reworked, which will help avoid many errors in their behavior and pathfinding. We're off to prepare the next content update, which you can read all about in our updated roadmap on Steam and on all.
Similarly, one of the highlights of 2023 was Moonstone Island, a pixel art farming sim with deck building combat and monster taming, releasing the free Magic May update that focuses on the Magic Man Waldo as an interactable NPC that's also a vendor, along with a whole bunch of new features. Okay, so for the record, I don't think Dave the Diver qualifies as an indie game, but it was my favourite game of last year, and they somehow have a free crossover DLC with Godzilla of all things, but this will be claimable until November 23rd only, so go add that to your Steam library before you forget.
Yet, Harbinger? Beyond the frontiers of what you have seen, of what you know, of what you fear. There are new lands, new people, and new dangers.
An awesome sandbox action-adventure RPG in early access is The Bloodline, releasing the Sands of Eskel update, which adds a whole new realm and kingdom for many more hours of exploration and adventure, aided of course with new questlines, weapons, resources and more. Watch this video for more action RPGs.
Learn new skills. Master